Everybody, how you doing? This is Frankly Horse Racing. We're going to do a quick rundown of the last few Derby races for qualifying points, and then the field's kind of shaping up. There's only going to be a few defections to let a couple others that really want to get in, but they got to wait and see for that. There's a certain amount of time where you got to be on the grounds to even enter. So I guess a few of them are going to have to wait it out, sweat it out, and see really what happens. So let's look at this weekend. I think overall our selections did pretty good. This is horse racing, so you're never going to be 100%, but I think overall we did pretty good in our selection. So we had we'll start with the Santa Anita Derby. And the Santa Anita Derby, we did talk a little bit about pace scenarios, and what I had said is that if the pace scenario was fast, I was pretty sure Journalism was going to win the race. And I felt like, of course, he was the best horse in the race. Baeza, if that's how you pronounce it, ran a damn good race. And the two Baffert horses just, they just didn't do well. And I would say Citizen Bull was what I thought he was. He's a really good horse. I'd love to have him. But there was pressure. Baeza I was more impressed with because he pressed that horse for quite a long time and then still was in there. And Journalism had to come get him, but Journalism was our top pick, and I think until they beat him, he's still going to be the top. Now in the Derby, he's going to have to get a good trip. He's going to have to get some luck. That's just the way it is. But right now, I think he is the best horse, and I'm not the only one that says this clearly, for the Kentucky Derby, and he should be the favorite. Now, out of that race, again, I said Baeza. There's nobody else in that race, even if they made it, I think would have a chance in the Derby. So point-wise, Baeza is sitting on the outside, I think like in 27th. So their connections are in a lot of trouble there if they want to make the Derby. Although I think he ran good enough against Journalism that he deserves a shot. Now let's look at the Wood Memorial that was run on the same day. And in that, we selected, I really liked Rodriguez in that race. Felt like a lot of times in New York, people don't really go too hard on the front end in some of these races. And if he got to the front, I just felt like what he was facing in California was much better than here. And that's exactly what happened. They should have pressured him more, but Mike Smith was able to get out there, get him relaxed, and he looked good. He just ran right around the track. Now, in Kentucky, if he's able to stay healthy and makes the Derby, starting gates, I particularly am not sure I feel about him yet because there's definitely going to be speed in there, especially with what happened this other day, Tuesday, which I guess was yesterday. Sorry, did some treatment and chemos and stuff, so the brain's a little bit slow today. But anyway, I think there's going to be some speed from East Avenue for sure because that's the only way they have a shot. And we'll talk about that race in a moment. So Rodriguez, even getting in the field, hey, all you need is a chip and a chair. He's definitely on the improve. These horses are young, and I think there's a hell of a lot of ability he has. And I'll have to wait and see how I feel about the Derby. We'll talk about that coming up, getting closer to the Derby. Although I was pretty impressed with Grande, the second place finisher in that race. If you watch that race, and I think I said this on another video, he had a rough go around the turn, on the back stretch, and he was wide almost the whole way, if not the whole way, and just finished fantastic. Now, can he take another step off that? He needs to win the Derby, but those two by far are the only two out of that race that I believe should be running in the Derby, and I didn't feel great about the field. I wanted to see the favorite and a couple others run, see how they did. But clearly Rodriguez and Curlin were much the best in there and that are going to make the field. I think Grande might be close. I'm sorry I don't have it right in front of me, so we'll just end with that. And then on the Bluegrass, so talking about the Bluegrass from yesterday, there is one more race from Keeneland on Saturday, the Lexington, but I don't think there's enough points for anybody to get in from there. In the Bluegrass, I picked in my video Burnham Square. I thought he was the horse to beat. Keeneland with speed, rail. it's hard to tell. Chancellor McPatrick, some people that I really like and appreciate their selections and their analysis and are very good. Really like Chancellor McPatrick. But sometimes in horse racing, as you know, you can love a horse and it just doesn't work out, or you might get a bad trip or whatever. I think there's distance limitations with them, so let's just stay with the two that finished the best. But a quick note on River Thames. I thought he ran great. I'm just not sure he can get any further. But between him and Owen Almighty, they were put in position. They got good rides. The horses just weren't enough. Burnham Square came from dead last. He was wide the whole way. But I think Brian Hernandez rode that the only way he could to win that race. And I even feel bad for East Avenue, who I particularly didn't like at all in the race. Because except for that one run at Keeneland, he hasn't run well. So in horizontals, did I use him? Yeah, only because he's a front end. But most everything I had was through Burnham Square. The flip side to that is they came home so slow. It was unbelievable. So we'll just have to see when I see the Derby field and do the handicap and where I go with that. Right now, even though I like Burnham Square in this, he needs to step up to win the Derby, in my opinion. But again, the Derby is Trip. We saw that with Mystic Dan. We saw that a few years ago with guy. He's escaped me. Was 50-1, and I almost used him because he was the only closer in that race with real closing speed. But I didn't. I'm trying to remember. He came up from Thistledowns. Anyway, that's kind of where I feel about this race. So in these three last prep races. And again, I'm not going to get really much into the Lexington. I might do a video on it, but it doesn't really help for the Derby points. I think we did a good job selecting. I hope you that saw this video, if anybody, since I just kind of started this channel now, I'm not sure many got it, but our selections were pretty good, and hopefully you won some money on it. And we'll see who does really well out of these races. I personally think the Santa Anita Derby, with journalism, like most people, is the horse to beat in the Derby right now. We'll see who stays healthy and how it goes over the next few weeks. All right, so this is Frank with Frankly Horse Racing. If you like what I'm starting to do here, if you would subscribe and like, I would really appreciate it to help me get this thing up and running. And again, I have cancer. I deal with that, so I'll try to be as consistent as I can with treatments and things, and sometimes I might be late, but I'll do the best I can to get you information because I love doing this. But if I can also build something here, I'd love to do that too, honestly. So we'll see you soon. Be good, and I'll get something out for my race pick this weekend. Take care.